In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I went from playing like this all the way to reaching my goal of 2000 elo. I started playing chess in December of 2022, but it wasn't until August the 14th of 2023 that I really made the choice that I wanted to hit 2000 elo. In August of 2023, I was rated 1300, and the huge milestone that we all have is 2000 elo. So I decided I'm going to actually dedicate myself to do this, and it took me 407 days of playing chess every single day to reach it. I'm going to break this video down into 4 different sections, starting off with openings, my chess training routine, my thoughts on plateaus and tilt in chess, because this is a huge one that everyone struggles with, and time controls, because everyone has different opinions on this, but I'm going to share what I did and what I think helped me. So let's talk about openings, because this is like the first thing that everybody goes to. You see so many opening courses, you see so many people making videos on, oh, this new gambit, etc. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I did in particular with choosing my repertoire, how I went about studying, learning new things. Honestly, there's no huge trick to it. I started off with the Vienna and the Caro-Kann because I got into chess and watched Gotham Chess. He recommends the Vienna Caro-Kann. I play Caro-Kann and Vienna. It's as simple as that, right? And of course, you know, you start to grow as a player. You start to learn how to actually play these Caro-Kanns and these Viennas. You start to learn the opening ideas. You don't just look at the theory or the moves that they said, because half the time when you're low rated and you study these openings, people don't actually play what you study because they're not engines. And that's why I suggest to you, which is what I did, stick to your opening. If it's not working for you right away, give it a chance. Don't just switch right up to the new tricky gambit, because if you just give yourself time to actually learn why you're playing the opening, and you're learning and you're building the reps of playing this opening, you will get good in it. I think that's pretty apparent with myself. Like, you know, the whole time I was climbing from 1300 to 2000, people were saying, oh, as you climb, you're going to need better openings. I got to 2000 playing the Vienna and the Caro-Kann. Sure, the Vienna is not the greatest opening for white, because if black knows what they're doing, they will equalize. So that's what I did. I just stuck to those, and I would use a resource called Opening Tree. Now, what Opening Tree is, it allows you to look at your chess.com profile and see the statistics with your openings. So I would look at it and I would see where my weakness is. For me, personally, around, it was like, I think 1500, I had a huge issue against 1d4. I think I was playing the Albin counter gambit at that time, which is just not a good opening. Like, it's just tricky. You're just going for a trick, and if they know how to play against it, you just have a worse position. So, you know, it got to the point that I needed to switch that up. And you can use this resource to see for yourself as well where you're losing the most games. What opening are you playing and just losing most of the time? So that's how I developed my opening repertoire. But how did I practice it? Because you can't just develop your openings and then not practice it. Of course, I just played games, blitz games, rapid games, all of this, and analyzed them and learned from that. But I also utilized Chessable. Chessable is amazing, and I highly recommend all of you guys to download Chessable as well. You don't have to buy a course. You can create 2 free courses on Chessable. Yes, it takes work, it takes time, and it takes effort, but you can go through and you can import all the PGNs, or you can put it in on the board, on the analysis board on Chessable, and you can create your own whole course, and you can go through and you can practice all of them. And that's exactly what I did. I created a Caro-Kann and Vienna course. I didn't practice them every day. I went through a big phase where I did a lot of Chessable for like probably an entire month. And that's how I learned my openings really good. And that was around like the 1600 mark. It was right before I broke up to like 1800. So that really helped, and I would highly recommend you guys do it. Some people say you don't need to learn openings. You can just go based off the basic principles, which you should know, of course. Know your principles, such as not moving a piece 10 times in the opening. That's an exaggeration. You shouldn't move a piece multiple times in the opening. You want to control the center. You want to avoid bringing your queen out too early too, because it's probably going to become a target. Unless it's theory, leave the queen at home. That was one of my biggest issues. I used to play the Carl Khan and bring the queen out to b6, like almost every game. This was at 1300. My coach, which I had at the time because I was coached from 13 to 1700, he was immediately like, stop doing this. Like, why are you putting your queen here? Just stop. So there's that. So don't bring your queen out too early unless it's theory, like the Scandinavian. Another opening principle is getting your king safe. Do not neglect this, especially at lower levels. People will get their king trapped in the center of the board and wonder why they're losing. So of course you can just follow the basic principles and you should be fine. But if you learn specific openings, I feel like you're gonna have just that extra step on your opponents. And if you truly want to get better at chess and you have the time, why wouldn't you just study some openings? At least a little bit. I don't see why you wouldn't. If you were actually truly wanting to get better at chess, you should probably want to learn the opening moves of the opening that you're going to play most times. So that's just my opinion. Some people differ, but that's how I took a hold of my openings, really. And nowadays I play the Vienna, I play the Carl Khan, I play the Grand Prix against the Sicilian. Against the French defense, I play the Taraj. Against the Scandinavian, I don't really have any theory memorized. I just kind of, well, actually, no, I play the Leon Hart Gambit against it. And if not, then I just kind of know how to play against the Scandinavian. So like the Scandinavian modern defense, the ready, you should have some kind of basic setup that you play against it. So some people might play the King's Indian against that stuff. Anyways, and against d4, I actually bought a Gotham chess course. So I bought his Queen's Gambit Declined course, which helped me a lot against d4 because it was a huge issue for me. I didn't really know what I was doing at all. And so buying that course, I had the funds for it. I was willing to invest in my chess improvement. You don't have to. You can learn everything online for free. But buying a course will 100% make your life easier and better. And yeah, that's basically my repertoire. I play the same thing pretty much every time that I get the chance to. And you just get good in those positions and play the game of chess that we all love. So the core of my chess training really came from puzzles. I know it sounds super simple, but honestly, you have to be doing puzzles every single day. I probably did about an average of 15 minutes per day. They are great for warming up. They are great for building pattern recognition, which is all of chess, and tactics at the lower levels and even higher levels decide games. So especially around the 1300 to like 1800 level, one single spot of a tactic could win you the game. So you need to be tactically sharp and you need to be practicing these tactical sequences every single day. Now, when I was about 1300 ELO, I had somebody that I'm very, very grateful for reach out to me. He found my channel on YouTube and he saw potential in me and he offered me free chess coaching. Him and I hopped on a call once a week from the rating of 1300 to 1700, and he would teach me. He would analyze my games, he would show me some of his games, he would run me through tactics, all of this stuff, and this definitely sped up my progress. Do I think I'd be where I am now without him? No. Do I think I could get to where I am now without him? Yes. So if you want to improve, I definitely think getting coaching can really help speed up the progress, especially as an adult learner. You know, children learn really quick, adults, not so much. As I was a 23-year-old trying to achieve the chess world or take over the chess world or whatever you want to say. I needed the extra help, so it really helped. Now, another thing that I would do in my free time is I would watch higher rated players such as Alex Banzea play chess, specifically in the openings that I want to learn or want to get better within. If you're a Carl Khan player, go watch Alex Banzea's Carl Khan playlist. You will learn a ton, you'll learn the ideas, and you'll see the common tactics. This is a very easy way to study, and it's enjoyable. I also struggled with endgames at some point, as we all do. I still do. One thing that really helped me was going through Danya's endgame playlist. He has a whole playlist on YouTube dedicated to teaching just endgames. Some of them are easy, some of them are hard, but you will learn a lot from just watching that. And I will have all of this linked in the description, but you should definitely go watch that. And on Chessable, there's a free endgame course that you can go through. Like, there's so many free resources out there. You just need to go and put in the work. Yeah, and then of course I use Chessable for practicing my openings, as I already mentioned. Chessable for practicing those endgames. Then, of course, we can't neglect analyzation. You have to analyze your games. You heard me. I know you want to skip that game review button. I know you just want to play. I know you just want to get into the next game. You're mad, you lost. Oh no. No, you have to analyze. This is so key, because this is where you figure out where you went wrong. In chess, you do not lose, okay? You do not lose for no reason. You lose because you did something wrong. And we can learn from our mistakes. And when we go wrong, that is an opportunity to learn. So please, stop skipping your game reviews. When I was lower rated, I didn't really understand the idea of weaknesses. I think some of us think we understand like structures and weaknesses, and I still don't completely understand them, but I really didn't understand them at lower levels. And so as I've developed as a player, I've been able to notice weaknesses within positions, and that makes you think about how you can take advantage of them. I think that's very key. So learning about weaknesses. So, weak squares. Every time you move a pawn, you're creating a weakness, but you're also strengthening something. You got to think about stuff like that. Pawns are very, very key. Plateaus really suck in chess, and we are all victims of plateau. Myself included, many plateaus. However, once you start looking at plateaus as good things, you'll start to feel better with them. So the way that you should look at plateaus is you've reached a new level and now you're stuck. But chess is not all upward progression. What you're doing when you're plateaued is you're gaining experience at a new level. So let's say that you go from 1300 to 1500, and now you're stuck at 1500 for a few months. Well, you weren't a 1500 player beforehand, so you're actually just improving steadily. You need these healthy breaks. You can't just keep going up. It's the same as the stock market. What goes up must come down, and this is why when you, let's say, hit a new threshold, like you hit, I don't know, 1900, you tilt down to 1800. Like, it's all ups and downs, ups and downs. Your elo will show your true rating over time. It's not going to always be one steady thing. You hit 2000 elo, you're not just 2000 elo forever now. You're probably going to lose it, and then you'll gain it back if you're truly 2000. In my opinion, it is very, very important to have a healthy mindset about this, especially if you want to get way better at chess, because it's going to be a long run. You can't just get good at chess overnight. It took me over 400 days of playing every single day with probably more effort than most people do just to achieve 2000 elo. That's a lot of days. That's a lot of time. It was some app that I used. It said that I had like 1,200 hours played in games, and that's just games alone. That doesn't include puzzles. That doesn't include opening study. That doesn't include the coaching, all the videos that I watched. It doesn't include that. I put so many hours into this, and I can still improve so much. Chess is hard. And if you want to get better, you better just accept it right now that it's going to take a long time. Now, after you've plateaued for some time, you might also just need a break. Breaks can be very, very helpful. In my journey, I had numerous breaks where I took breaks from rapid play. When I say breaks from rapid chess, I mean rapid chess. I still did puzzles, I still studied, but I did not play rapid games every single day. When I needed a break, I gave myself the break because I realized that it is important. And speaking of important things and breaks, you need to take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. If you don't have a good sleep, how do you expect to play chess at your best performance? And honestly, most times after I would take a break from rapid play, I would come back and break the plateau. So give it a try. How did I manage my tilt? I don't know if I actually did, because honestly, chess has ruined many of my days. You guys may not see it on the channel because I contain myself most times. There's been a couple times that are questionable, but you know, I've had chess ruin so many of my days where I played games in the morning and I just lost when I shouldn't have, or just tilting things. And I think about it for the rest of the day and I'm significantly less happy, and that is not good. However, you need to flip the mindset and accept that you're going to lose and take it as a learning opportunity. Now, I say that, and I say the best thing you can do is to limit your losses. Now listen to me. Don't do as I did, because I had many times where I just spammed games and did not try to just learn from my losses. My biggest tilt was actually when I got one game away from 2000 elo. I tilted all the way down to 1790 something from 1992 or 1993. So I tilted 200 elo. Chess is an emotional game. So if you're upset over something, it's going to reflect in your chess. And that's why I'm going to tell you right now, you should limit the amount of games that you play, or at least limit the amount of games that you lose in a row. If you lose 3 games in a row, cut it off for the day. Try to really take a look at those games in depth and learn why you lost them. Or in general, maybe limit your games to like 3 to 5 games a day. Some people may or may not agree with my opinion on what you should do for time controls, but what I did was I basically just played the most common, which is 10+0, up until around 1300 elo. This is where I figured out that I'm very, very slow. I'm losing games in winning positions on time. Very frustrating. Also, I'm just playing games and I'm not playing them that great. I don't really know what I'm doing. My intuition's not really where it should be. I haven't built that foundation. And so I switched to 15+10. And I played 15+10 up until around 1800 elo. And at that point, I felt like I built a good enough intuition, a good enough foundation of my knowledge of chess and my openings, etc., that I could go back to 10+0. And I'm happy I did. Now, if your overall goal is to get better in classical chess, then probably keep playing 15+10. You're going to get better at calculation. You're going to have to think more. You're going to have to think more deeply. But 10+0 allows you to take your knowledge and put it to the test. That's how I saw it. So I hit 1800 with this decent foundation that I built from the 15+10s. And then I grinded the games because I felt like I was there. I felt like I was ready to get to 2000 elo. And of course, I didn't get there right away. It took a grind. I won a lot of games. I lost a lot of games. And I learned from those games. And eventually I was able to hit 2000 elo. What I recommend to you guys is if you are under 1500 elo, play 15 plus 10. Unless you're like 2000 blitz, then ignore everything that I just said. If your blitz is absurdly higher than your rapid, then just ignore me. Play 10 plus 0 because you have an advantage. But if your intuition isn't built and you're not very good at playing quickly, I highly recommend 15 plus 10. You will build very good habits as long as you're progressively learning from your mistakes, and you'll get better at calculation. You'll get faster over time. In my opinion, time management is one of those things that you don't really train. You just get better at with experience, or at least it was with me. So up until then, play 15 plus 10, build a good foundation, and then maybe go back to 10 plus 0 and give it a try. That's how I went about it, at least. And hopefully that'll help you as well. So to summarize, I basically just learned some openings. As a beginner, I chose what I wanted to play. From there, I learned the opening principles. So I kind of understood why I was playing these openings and how to punish openings that weren't typical. I took advantage of the resources that were available, such as Chessable and Opening Tree, which really helped crisp up the openings. I played and studied the game every day consistently, learning from my mistakes, from the games, from my own errors, and I learned from really good players. So like I mentioned, watching Alex Benzea, I watched Gotham Chess, Hikaru, Danya, all these people. I watched and tried to learn from them, but most of all, I didn't give up. Some people told me it would be impossible to reach 2000. Some people said people will play chess their entire life and never reach 2000. Why do you think you can do it? Well, I just believed in myself and I put in the work. And I think a lot of people just neglect that they can do it too, but they're just not willing to put in the work and effort. Now that I've hit 2000 elo, it doesn't stop here. I don't just want to be a 2000 rated player. Hit the great goal, but now what's next? Well, I'm going to be working with a FIDE master to help me get to the next level. And I'm super excited about it. And make sure you check out the description because every single link that was mentioned in this video will be there. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.